Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really powerful new tool that's open source and designed to fix one of the biggest headaches for any financial trader, backtesting. You know, if you've ever had what you think is a brilliant trading idea, you also know the real work is proving it actually has an edge. So let's dive into a much, much better way. This quote, this gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's from a trader. And man, it just captures that universal frustration, the endless scrolling through charts, the super messy spreadsheets, the hours and hours you pour into just a handful of stocks. I'm guessing it does. And what about that nagging doubt you have after all that work? You know, that little voice asking, did I miss something? Is this data even right? It's a feeling that keeps way too many good ideas from ever seeing the light of day. Look, this frustration, it's not just about wasting your weekend. It's about a fundamental lack of confidence in your own results. When the whole process is that painful, you're pretty much just left guessing. But what if you didn't have to? Well, this is the tool built to solve that exact problem. It's the Camarilla Pivot Backtester, and it's been newly open-sourced by Quantway Consulting. At its core, it uses something called camarilla pivots. Just think of them as a set of 8 price levels that act like a roadmap for a stock's potential range. The tool uses these to build and test incredibly specific trading ideas. So, what makes this backtester so different from all the others? Well, it goes way beyond simple signals, like buy when this line crosses that one. It's actually designed to test a complete, multi-step thesis. And this whole powerful approach? It's built on 3 core pillars. Okay, let's start with the first pillar, advanced pattern definition. The key idea here, the big one, is testing a narrative. This lets you define your strategy in multiple stages, which mirrors how a trader actually thinks about a setup unfolding over time. So here's the crucial part. We're moving beyond a single event. A real trading setup is usually a story, right? It unfolds over time. Let's look at a really concrete example of how this actually works. Okay, check this out. This isn't just one data point. It is a 2-month story. First, you're looking for a month where the price showed real strength. It hit that upper R4 resistance pivot, but it still found support and held above the lower S3 pivot. Okay, cool. Then, in the very next month, you test for a breakdown, a failure below that same S3 level. You see, it's a complete narrative. Strength followed by failure. And that's the core idea right there in action. You are no longer just testing some isolated signal on a chart. You are actually quantifying a complex market narrative, which, is how a lot of professional traders really think. Now, once you've defined that perfect narrative, how do you find it? I mean, you can't just scroll forever. And that brings us to our second pillar, market-wide scanning. They even nicknamed it the Camarilla Mind. This is all about solving the huge problem of scale. You know the old way, right? That painful, manual, one-by-one process we talked about? Well, the new way? You define your pattern once, and the tool scans an entire universe of stocks, like a whole index, over whatever date range you want to find every single match. And we're not talking about just a handful of stocks here. You can scan an entire index. The Nifty 50, the S&P 500, or your own custom list of hundreds and hundreds of tickers all at once. The system just does all the heavy lifting for you. And here is the big payoff. The entire process of identifying every single instance of your perfect A+ setup is cut down from an entire weekend of work to just a few minutes. That is a complete game changer for your efficiency. But look, finding the setup is really only half the battle. The real question is, what happens after the pattern shows up? And this brings us to the third and final pillar, deep probabilistic analysis. This is where most backtesters kind of fall short, but it's where this tool absolutely shines. So instead of a simple win-loss ratio, you get the full statistical picture of what tends to happen next. The tool breaks down all the probable outcomes. For example, you might see that 25% of the time, the price just ends up in that neutral zone between the S1 and R1 pivots. But here's where it gets really, really powerful. You can filter by the starting conditions. You can ask, okay, given my pattern happened, what if the month opened in a weak zone, like S4, S3? What happened then? That right there is conditional probability. And truly understanding that gives you a massive quantifiable edge. So the message here is pretty clear. It's time to stop guessing and start quantifying your ideas with real hard data. Let's talk about who this was built for and, more importantly, how you can get your hands on it. This tool was really designed for anyone who takes a systematic approach to the markets. So yeah, that includes professional quants, but also serious retail traders who really want to level up their analysis, and even portfolio managers who are looking for a robust way to test new strategies. Now, the project has been open sourced with a very clear, very fair license. It's completely free for any personal, non-commercial, or evaluation use. If you want to use it for business, like at a trading firm or for creating paid content, then a commercial license is required. It's a great model that encourages the community to use it while still supporting its development. Ultimately, that is what this is all about. Your trading ideas are valuable. They're hypotheses. And now you can actually treat them like it by testing them with a robust tool that replaces all that guesswork with real data. The entire project, all the code, it's available right now on GitHub. You can go explore it and run your first backtest today. And of course, just a very important reminder, trading involves significant risk. This tool is for your own analysis and is absolutely not financial advice. As always, please remember that past performance doesn't guarantee future results. So, we'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you have a tool that can test a complete story, a complete narrative, across an entire market, what's the first big idea that you've been waiting to finally put to the test?